All right. So we're with Judith Bissett.
Bissett.
See, there we go. Now, this is what I fractured people's names, and I won't. It's just been something that has happened. But Judith Bissett, Judith Bissett, and this is this is not a prequel to a testimonial, because Judith has just installed a vortex generator, a President Water vortex generator on her home. And unlike many people who are awaiting their first experience in total with a vortex generator, Judith, actually, you've had some experience with it, which actually went into your decision to put it on your home. Would you tell us about that?
I was first and foremost looking for it because I was dealing with dehydration, and I knew that because we all are, and there are obvious symptoms, and because I've taught nutrition and I know about the process of hydration, I got in touch with a woman who has an organic garden, and she's a phenomenal, brilliant woman in my mind, and she knows a lot about the process, of energy and frequency and assimilation and digestion and hydration. And so when I got in touch with her and I started actually helping her on her organic garden, and she introduced me to you, Adam, and I knew she was very credible. So when she said something to me about this vortex water, and I understand vortex, I've been teaching nutrition for an understanding of this process in nature for 40 years. I'm aging myself here, so a long time. This has been my mission. So when I started to hear someone who already had so much credibility talk about what you had in your President Water Company in this vortex system and understanding, see, my skin starts to crawl because I hear truth in this, and it fascinated me from the very beginning because this is energy created by Mother Nature, and she doesn't get anything wrong. And it almost brought tears to my eyes that you tapped into this magic, if you will. And Mother Nature's not a magic per se, but because so many people have lost touch with what's really available to us because they've decided to go other avenues and not listen to what is the basis of creation. Water and the carrier. I mean, we literally are 100% water. People try and say, what, 98%? When you take water away, what are we? We're very little's left. There's dust, and oxygen. And oxygen being number one, I guess, they're both so important, but, the water is the carrier of the oxygen. The first thing you do when you're born is breathe. And so this carrier of water, in doing it in a vortex system, which is you've got tornadoes, you've got, water going down your pipes, you see vortex energy and everything. And so that really is the energy that is created by Mother Nature, even in rainwater and through the clouds, because it creates an energy that's necessary for the body to notice it, assimilate it and notice it and wake it up. And that's what we are from the spark of life. A spark is energy and frequency. So without that, we have nothing. We don't even have life. I mean, even the word, even the word is a frequency, and that's the beginning of life. So when I started to tap in by listening to other people who are healers, we have an interesting tribe, and we teach each other, and what we call a ministry, because we minister to one another. And I have a lot of respect for Dolores and her organic her organic gardening methods, and she teaches scientists what is necessary in their soil, and she works with the same kind of technology I do as a biofeedback technician. I use cold low level lasers, scanners, which came from Russia, and it went into outer space with Russian cosmonauts. So my my study, my research, my teaching, Chinese herbology, we are what we eat, all of those things are really pertinent to life. And without that balance, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we are what we think too, as it turns out.
We what?
We are what we think
Absolutely.
as well, and what we've been taught in so many ways. So what you came across this? There was a something or an event that began to that how you dipped your feet into the experience.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me was that, number one, it was water, and it was energy, but also Dolores being the person who had the integrity, and I sat and listened. She invited me to come and listen to President Water Company, and I started taking home with me water that came through this vortex system, and I deal with dehydration as well as everyone does, but unbeknownst to them, because there's a science behind that, and we are all starving because we don't have a delivery system in our water, a carrier of this frequency. So I took it home, and I wanted to see what this did for me in hydrating, and I've suffered for a very long time, and it started with an allergy like in October's, and I go, okay, this is an issue. And it became more chronic, and having dry eyes is an issue. It's painful because everything you do all day is look through your eyes.
And you got to blink sometimes.
Oh yeah, and I'm doing it now because it just got my system. I was away up in a cabin for a while, off hugging trees. So I missed the water that I was getting from Dolores, which is the vortex water. But I noticed while I was drinking it, everything. I started to feel so much better. My energy was better, my thinking was better and clearer. It's the synapses of energy. And most important, because what I was suffering with, which is in all of us, is what is the most obvious. It was my eyes. So I started to notice it really early on that I wasn't blinking as much, that I was getting a lot of relief. Which I do study all the time. I'm forever on a laptop or a screen, which is difficult on your eyes anyway. So I was creating a problem.
It produces its own levels of stress.
Yeah, and you've got the light coming back at you. It likes to cause issues with your eyes. So I always asked too much of my eyes. So when I started drinking this water, I started feeling the hydration. I got an incredible relief, and it didn't even really seem so subtle, because oftentimes you want to see subtleties, and it was like very quickly I noticed a difference. Mm-hmm. Then I took off to the cabin, and I started noticing I was having trouble again. The issues became more and more obvious. Then we had the fire, so it's like, it became very obvious to me that I really needed to do something. Well, I had gone to Dolores and helped her in her organic garden, and I was getting goat's milk and what have you, and I said to her I wanted to get a hold of Adam again and get this vortex water because I noticed such a difference. And she told me that you had put in the rose quartz crystal. And prior to that, I thought, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Unbeknownst to Dolores.
This was prior to. This was the 100th monkey thing I'm talking about, where great minds think alike, And I said, oh, man, wouldn't that be awesome? Because we get energy and frequency from everything. And I understand from quartz crystal, which runs our computers and everything, there's energy in absolutely everything. And this beautiful rose quartz is the frequency, and we know this as healers because we tap into that, and it is the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. The heart chakra. Your heart is what? It's love, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, wouldn't this be beautiful if we could take this? I got goosebumps talking about this because there's so much truth, and it just happened. It's the synchronicity, the divine synchronicity. So I think of this and I say, oh, wouldn't it just be lovely if we had the energy of the rose quartz crystal? And I went to Dolores and I said, I need to get a hold of Adam. I'm ready for this machine, for this vortex water. She said, he just put rose quartz crystal in this, and I just, you can't make this stuff up, right? When things are divine, you just go, really? There's my sign, right? And I said, all right, I'm in. And today, yesterday, you came to help me out, and we got it in my system. It was done very easily, and what I was really impressed with is the cost. Because this vortex, if it would have been in any other system, and we know what those can be, alkaline system, reverse osmosis, those things that have been introduced, which are not, in my scientific research and knowledge, do not supply the necessary frequency, energy, and process to create a delivery system that's as beautiful and as natural as this. So you still can take all your supplements and everything and be dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, there's no system carrying the nutrients. So you can still starve and take and eat the things you should. Mm-hmm. So there's a missing link. So that's why I was interested in. When I heard this quartz crystal was in, I said, all right, I'm in. So yesterday, it was easy to install. The cost is surprising to me. To me, it should be it's worth way more than this. For many reasons, being stainless steel, it never decays. So there's no parts, and there's no moving parts to replace. So there's no filters, nothing. So you got this initial cost, and on top of that, your whole house, through one system, is taken care of. Your water, your shower, your bath, your laundry comes out cleaner. My kitty drinks out of my faucet all the time, and I hated that she was getting fluoride and chlorine. And I tried to give her better water, and I turn it on, and now I'm happy that I get to turn it on, and my kitty gets good water because I want her to live forever. She's my buddy. And I washed my hands, and I went, wow, the subtleties. And they're not subtle to me because I'm sensitive to these things, but I put my hands under the water, and I washed my hands, and I went, all right, Adam, this water's softer. You said, yes, it is. So it's just confirmation. And the beauty of this, all of it being encompassing and holistic in its form. And I am excited. Oh, I've literally gone to the restroom probably 10 times, which means I'm getting hydrated and my body's being flushed, and my urine is coming out like water. Like literally no color, which is a beautiful sign. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. I had a precursor because of my education and understanding. Then I got the experience with the water prior, and then said, all right, now is the time, which everything is divine timing. So here we are. It's in, and it's wonderful because this is going to be something that is great. It's wonderful for the planet, for the earth and the delivery system of microorganisms and all of that. As above, so below. We without, within. What we eat, we are. I just know that this is so pertinent, especially at this time, because we've done so much damage to our bodies and to the earth, that this is the missing link. What's actually been here, but we've just missed.
Just went right past.
We just went right past it.
Haven't
and said,
noticed it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the most obvious, which is, to me, it's like, how did we miss that? No, I didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. We just said, all right, how do we get back to that? So to me, it's like, I love the word booyah, because to me, that's like the punch. It's like, we got this, and this is going to change. This is going to change so many people's lives.
For the better.
And thank you. Thank you for all your research, your time, your effort, your love, and your compassion, Adam. It's so heartfelt that it brings tears to my eyes that you can do this for us. And now it's time for us to wake up and say, you know what? This is powerful, and it's simple, and it's in its funniest form. It's so simple because it's been there forever, like oxygen. Get back to nature. It's that simple. And now, thank you for bringing this to us. I appreciate it.
Judith, thank you. I'm blushing. Thank you.
Thank you.